Well, a fine good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mahoney County Board of Elections. Today is January 5th. It's about 10 minutes after 8. This meeting is called to order. The director, please call the roll.
Mr. Monroe,
Here.
Ms. Winbush. I'm looking right at you. Ms. Winbush,
Yes, here.
Mr. Wasco.
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Here. Before we get started, Tracy, you wanted to make a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we amend the agenda from now going forward for a moment of silence and a pledge to every meeting. I think every government entity should be doing that. Our kids should do that. Our nation and our community, there's a lot going on. A moment of silence and a pledge, I think it's something that we all need to get back to. I ask that we would do that and amend the agenda going forward for as long as we stay in.
I second that.
Any objection? Very good. Okay. In that case, before we proceed, if you can just take a moment to reflect on the state of the country, the state of our nation, and the many blessings that we all have. And if all would rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, there was a motion. Was there a second?
Yeah, I second.
In that case, would the director please call the roll?
Mr. Monroe,
Yes.
Ms. Winbush.
Yes,
Mr. Wasco.
Yes.
Mr. Beatrice.
Yes.
thank you.
Motion carries. Under Chairman's report, I note that it's a brand new year. I'm glad to see 2020 in the rearview mirror. Looking forward to a much better 2021. With that, I'm going to ask for the director's report.
Well, there isn't much, thank God it's 21. I'm moving right now along to scan the absentees into our system to attach them to the voters. That's gonna take a while since we have 50,000. So, we're working on that. I actually acquired more scanners. So the next time we do this, I'm gonna have them, as they put the absentee application on, scan the application to the absentee application, then to the voter's record. So we don't have to go through this after an election.
So now you're talking about the absentees for the upcoming election? Or?
The last election, for November. We
Okay.
did not have enough scanners to do that in November.
Oh, I see.
But as soon as I got my big grant, I bought scanners for everyone's desk who does scan. So they are now actually doing that. And going forward, they're going to scan those in as they put the application to the voter's record. So it'll be done when the election's over, it'll be over.
So there'll be an electronic copy of
Yes.
the application?
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
So
We
we
always
can call it
attach
up
them to.
on the computer, be part of the database.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
that's good.
And I'm also working on a plan for the people that we just hired, and for Dante, who's gonna go downstairs and take over the basement. Lorraine is going to start training for payroll and for learning new financials. So we have one person doing that with a backup of John Blue. That's basically where we're at right now. Dante's still gonna do liquor auctions. I'm having him keep a desk upstairs as well as downstairs, because he doesn't have to be downstairs all the time. In off season, he can be up here, and the liquor auctions are 90 days before the election anyway. So, I'm working on a plan to work everything out for the new employees and the older employees, so we can get this, up and running for the primary.
Where will Dante's backup desk be?
Right where it used to be, right beside Tina Pilates.
Okay, well, that's where Lorraine has already moved in, I think.
She's moved in, but I'm moving her. That's why I need the
I
plan.
went down to meet her for the first time this morning.
Yes, that's why,
And it appeared that she was, yes, she'd like
yeah,
Dante
she's
to
working
kick out.
out very well. She's doing registrations and she's, learning the system, it takes a little while. I think she can, talking to the people downtown, I think she can take over the financials very easily. And I know Dante can take over the warehouse very easily. So, it's just a plan I have to work out for them. And that's it for me.
So Dante will be coming back upstairs.
Yes, well, part-time, yes.
Very good. Anything else, Joyce?
That's it, I think, for me.
Next, we have to formally adopt our proposed schedule for the 2021 year. Mr. Butler has prepared a proposed schedule. It basically conforms to what we've been doing for the past couple of years, meaning having our regular meeting being set to be the first Tuesday after the first Monday of every month.
The only thing I would say is the March 2nd meeting would be our reorganization meeting.
But that's still a good date.
It's still a good day.
Still a good date.
Yep.
Very good. Okay, is there a motion to adopt the schedule?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Director call the roll?
Mr. Monroe,
Yes.
Ms. Wingate,
Yes.
Mr. Warsco.
Yes.
Mr. Peters.
Yes.
Is there any unfinished business to consider this morning? Any new business? Any board communications to report?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Anything for the good of the order, any public comment this morning?
I do.
Mr. Beatrice?
I don't want to get political, but we're all on boards of elections. And I want to publicly commend the Secretary of State for Georgia to withstand the pressure that he was under when he got that call. He stood for the integrity of the systems and how they ran it. And he's not even of the same political party as me, but I don't know if I could have withstood that pressure. I have to publicly acknowledge that he stood for the integrity of his numbers under, extreme circumstances. And as an election board member and watching people in boards and knowing the process like I do and knowing all the safeguards and everything else, he's very respectful to the president, but I have to give him credit for what he did. Now, maybe afterwards not, but at least being able to withstand the pressure of what he was subjected to. I think all of us as election workers know. And that one deputy of his who stands out in front and explains all the processes. And I only say that because we didn't have anything nearly on the scale of that, but I remember in our Struthers election when one of the boxes didn't go from the truck to the counting machine but to the vault, and all the conspiracy theories that revolved around that. I can appreciate what he was subjected to, and I just think that he should be publicly, I want us to say publicly, I think he did his job, and that's important.
Yeah, I certainly note that oftentimes when folks view the process from the outside, it's easy to sometimes draw incorrect conclusions about what goes on. But, but at the same time, I'm glad to have an open dialogue. If there are questions about any election process, let's get them aired. And let's get all the facts out so that people can be confident that what went on was in fact proper. So.
And to add to that, I have to say, Mahoning County Board of Elections stands head and shoulders above every electoral system in the nation, and I am so proud.
I'm very proud of you.
Shamora is shaking her head in a positive way.
I'm
I
so
am so
proud.
proud.
You were
I'm so
misunderstood.
proud
I
of
was
the team
singing.
and the people that work here, the leadership,
The leadership.
the
especially.
integrity. It is and has been an amazing ride.
Yeah.
I second.
Thank you.
I don't know if Mandy sent you guys, but she was really proud. I mean, all over the state, we were proud, but, it's the counties that always have their stuff together, and you guys are one of them, so we're really proud. You guys
And
did a
I
great
should
job.
say
You have a good
too,
team.
the Secretary of State's not of my political party, but he has stood by us during this whole debacle that's been going on in the press. He has always stood by our integrity, what all boards of elections in Ohio have done, and that there's nothing to be questioned about us. I mean, we weren't in the mix to be a state that counted, for anything, but he did say that no election was taken from anybody, that all the votes were counted properly in Ohio, and he stuck by all of us, and he's made those statements numerous times, so.
But
Plus,
Mahoning
he's a
County
former,
rocks.
Plus, he's a former Army Green Beret, so
But
he holds a special place in my heart.
Yes, he's very, very strict.
But Mahoney County rock.
Yeah, we do. I'll give Joyce on their duty.
Joyce, listen,
They do,
Joyce
they
Thompson
run a
and
good
this
ship.
staff, they
The
rock.
staff, the
This
staff.
staff
is-
rock.
Well, the staff works because they have good leadership.
and
You
the
can have
staff-
great
the
staff and bad leadership, and
We got good people, and I applaud
we
you.
have
Thank
good
you.
people because we have good leaders.
But the
Thank
staff,
you.
the staff picks
You
it
guys
up, I
did.
mean, they stand,
You're good people.
they stand above the rest.
We got good water.
Jamori, anything from Columbus?
No.
You know, I don't know if you all know Penny from Athens County, but Penny has passed away. It's very sad, I knew Penny for what, 30 years we've known her, Tom?
years.
Wow.
30 years.
From
She was in
Corona?
the Board of Elections 42 years. She was always the little one with the glasses, always
Yeah.
the friendliest one. I think the cancer, I think she got
Wow.
cancer, yeah. So she's someone to be remembered because she was a force within the OAEO, and I feel very bad about Penny.
Have you heard anything, Joyce, from the Department of Health about election workers? And their,
Not yet. The commissioners have issued, they have continued their plan until March for how we were to handle COVID, so off and on, workers off and on. If anybody gets COVID, they're supposed to report it to the health department. I mean, it's a continuing plan that they had when this first started. So we're observing that, we're wearing masks.
I'm just saying, because we have an election coming up in May.
I
and,
think everybody's hoping it'll be over by May, but I don't know if it will.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know, what I'm saying is, you should push, if we could, that the workers here, since they have to interact with the public so much, be pushed up if they haven't gotten their vaccine by May.
Oh, I agree. We should be essential workers, and that's something, but I don't even know if we've gotten the vaccine. And, I mean, I haven't heard, has anybody gotten that?
Yeah,
vaccine?
here in Mahoney County, yes.
Yes.
They started with police and fire,
And that's good.
a lot of people have got vaccinated.
Yeah,
The doctors and the hospitals here have got
I
vaccinated.
don't know if we have any vaccine yet.
yeah,
Should be
Pam's
disclosed.
scheduled to get hers, I think, next week.
Oh, she should drop
Yeah.
them, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my daughter, who's a nurse up at the Cleveland Clinic, has gotten hers, and her
I can
husband.
check with the health department on that.
All I'm saying is, if we're not scheduled before May,
Oh, no, we have to, yeah.
our workers should really be in April, because they have to go out and do
That's true.
nursing homes and all that other
If they're gonna be
stuff.
vaccinated.
That board workers should be moved up, just because they have to have so much contact with the public.
But now, I have a question also. What about poll workers for,
Most of our poll workers are over 65.
that's what I'm saying.
It'll depend on it depends on people if they want to get.
What I'm saying,
Maybe that's another reason.
No,
I'm talking about them being, and it could, because if there's gonna be a transition line of people getting vaccinated, will poll workers be able to?
I agree with that,
To
that
be
poll
able to
workers,
be essential workers if they're gonna be in there, if they haven't gotten
well,
it
it's
yet.
not just essential workers, but their job doesn't allow them to, they have to work with the public poll
Right.
workers. They have to be subject to hundreds and hundreds of people. And so they should be moved up as opposed to someone that doesn't have constant
That does
contact with
marketing.
it.
So this is only Youngstown and Struthers, I think, that are voting this time. So those would be the ones that we will push first,
Yes,
and then.
and Boardman, right? No, not just this primary.
Yeah, the
Youngstown,
primary is
Struthers.
just Youngstown and Struthers, so I would push them first.
Right.
We'll get a handle on who's gonna be working, and then push them first, Maybe we can arrange something here at the board, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the health department about that.
Does somebody make a motion that the director be instructed to contact, number one, the county board of health?
Is it the county or Youngstown that covers us?
Well, it's
Oh,
county.
Well, and if necessary, the governor's office.
Yeah,
Right.
well, maybe
I
even
think
Frank
I-
LaRose's
I think I
office
think
could
it's,
help us out on that.
David Dixler has a call with the governor every Monday. So I think if I go to the commissioners also and ask them, I think the governor could work with the Secretary of State and instruct, poll workers to be.
But I think the Secretary of State would have the most swag out of anyone.
We let Secretary LaRose know that we're concerned about our poll workers. being
Poll
vaccinated
workers and the
and
workers
and
here,
elections.
because 30 days before the election, they
There's
got
gonna be a lot of interaction with people.
a lot of interaction with people, so
I'd like to get it as soon as possible to go through.
That's-
Well,
we're still-
the way
we're still
it's
very
looking for me, it's not until after May. the way it is, but I think the
But as a
people,
board member, you would.
well, yeah, but the people that are, doing early voting and our poll workers, they should all be vaccinated.
Or have that option.
I can't worry about early voters, he knows who they are, you know what I'm saying, so.
So,
No, but
No,
the
those
ones
are the
that are,
workers.
Oh,
So it's working with your
yes,
employees.
Yes, yes.
the employees that are out there working with the public. Has Mr. LaRose thought about that at all? Frank LaRose thought about that at all?
We haven't had a meeting since last month, so I don't know where this
He's probably in Florida right now.
We haven't had any discussion about it. I know we're supposed to have one more follow-up and, like, I think this week, so I'll bring it up.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sending
just
an email now.
thinking, because a lot of the people that work here won't be until May or June even sometimes.
yeah.
And if they could be moved up because of,
Elections.
The
That should be taking precedent.
Well, Dave, can you offer a motion?
yeah, I offer a motion that Joyce or is it
Shamore.
Sure.
Shamore, I was gonna say Shamore. Shamore, do whatever they can to see if we can't get our workers moved up in the vaccination in anticipation, because we start early voting in early April. Okay, and that they're gonna have a lot of contact with the public, they have to go out to nursing homes, they have to do all that stuff,
Sure.
that they be moved up.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, any additional discussion? Director,
I
call the
have,
roll.
I have
Oh,
a discussion, what if an employee refuses to get the vaccination?
Well,
Well, we
That's
as a
involved.
board can mandate it. My position is, that it should be up to the individual, but people that are going into nursing homes, they should be
I don't know if we'll be
vaccinated.
going into nursing
I don't
homes,
think
we
they're
did
gonna
not
let
last
them
time,
get-
so I don't know if we will be. That system worked out well, Tom handled that system for us with nursing homes, and,
Me and Oz, he did a great job.
yeah, I think it worked out well,
Yeah.
yeah.
We did
And we
this
might be
time.
doing that same thing this time.
What did you do, how did you handle that, George? How did you handle that, Tom?
Nosby went out, Republican, Democrat, and we trained at least 2 workers at each location of how to handle it. They handled that, and we went back later and picked up the voted ballots. But we did have 3 or 4 locations we had to stay in and actually vote those residents. So we took precautions, Oz had the face mask down, I always did my face mask, and it worked well. It worked well that way.
Like,
If we have
out of
to-
30 nursing homes, we had like 3 or 4, but most of them, the bigger ones, it worked out very well, Tom and I handled that very well. So we might be doing that again in May.
Yeah, I think if we have to, we just keep the same team and.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good system.
Yeah, but the people that are sitting out here, and they have this more infectious strain out there now, it's 70 times more contagious.
I'm just saying,
70% more contagious.
I don't know if I can force an employee who does not want to get.
Well, we could set that policy here, Joyce. So we would like your recommendations by next meeting, what your recommendations on that would be.
Okay,
Because as an employer, we can require that someone take a vaccine. These people don't have employment contracts, they're not in a union, they serve at our will. So if we say, if you want to work here, you got to take the vaccine, and if you don't take the vaccine, you don't have a job. But I think that's a discussion we should have.
Can I say this? In this juncture, I think we should table that almost completely and follow let me finish. And get with the county commissioners. That's a hot spot. That's not a hot spot for the Board of Elections. And that should not be taking place, that discussion, that needs to be a discussion we need to take care of the safety, but the political, mandating is a political discussion that should not be taking place in the Board of Elections.
Well, no, here's the difference between us and the commissioners. They're civil servants, they're not at-will employees. Our employees are at will, okay? Which means that they can be, we could set a policy, because they have collective bargaining units that they have to go through. Most of the county workers are in some type of a bargaining unit. Ours are not. So we could set our policy as whatever we want it to be. And I didn't say bring it up now, I said bring it up next month.
it's really premature because we don't even know if we can get the vaccines
Yes,
at this point,
exactly.
so.
That's correct, and that's a
and
very.
I can
So-
speak to the employees about it
So-
also by next month.
So let's just go with the motion that's on the table. Any other discussion? Director call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Wentworth?
Yes.
Mr. Warsco?
Yes.
Mr. Beechers?
Yes.
Very good. If there is no further business, our next meeting is set for 8 AM, February the 2nd, Tuesday the 2nd. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Director call the roll.
Mr. Monroe?
Yes.
Ms. Wentworth?
Yes.
Mr. Warsco?
Yes.
Mr. Beechers?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. We are adjourned.
Very good.